you do, poetry lovers? Hello, hello, hello. You know, today is 102 days of poetry. Can you even fathom it? Can you reckon? I reckon it's real. We're doing it. I am here at a very special location today. I'm going to give them mad props in my description. But this is the fantastical land created by some friends of mine. They own a company. Come a little closer. Come on in a little closer there, Ma. I've got my lovely mother filming for me today just because there's cars, you know, so you can hear me and such. Got such a cool setup going on here. But my friends here own a company called the Colorado Shoe School, and it is beyond cool. You can make your own shoes. And this woman, Annabelle, she worked for Cirque du Soleil. She is a dancer and a creator, and she is a really phenomenal person. So check them out. You can look them up online. I'll do links and dinkies and doodles that you can click on so that you can learn more about the Colorado Shoe School. They have this incredible collection of leather and cloths, and you can make your very own shoes. It's so cool. So this is their brainchild of Wonderland. Basically, it just gets cooler and cooler from here. A woman after my own heart. But today we're doing a special poem for day 102 because it is National Colorado Day. How cool is this? I feel very cool. This is a cap I actually bought because my grandpa has a hat just exactly like this. So that was the motivation for getting this cool hat. He's not really doing so well health-wise right now, so send some love out to my gramps. And then, of course, my Colorado hoodie, my very funky pants, and then I just got to show you the socks because, you know, Colorado. Colorado. So I also brought my little friend here. This is the one Miss Auntie Stone. Auntie Stone is extremely famous in Fort Collins, Colorado, where I'm from. She was, at the time of her death, said to be the oldest woman in Colorado. She lived to be 94. She helped to start the city of Fort Collins as we know it now. She started a bunch of hotels here. She came out in a wagon from New York City. That's crazy. And she did so many wonderful things here. She taught children. She was a midwife. Okay, here we are. Trying to help my mother in her directorial cinematography debut here. So she started a schoolhouse. She was a midwife. She was a suffragette. She promoted women's voting rights, and then she lived to see voting become legal for women when she was at the ripe age of 93. She was finally able to vote and talked about what a privilege and an honor it was. And she just did so many great things for this community. Her cabin is one of the oldest buildings in Fort Collins. It is still standing. You can go visit it and stand inside of it. It's really a delight. It's such a treat to go in there and see one of the schoolhouses she started. There's also, she's the stuff of legends. She fell out of a wagon on God, I just lost it. Bear Mountain? Yeah, I think it's Bear Mountain. Dang, I just had it. Shoot, too much Colorado info in my mind. But she fell out of this wagon and took a tumble and was like in her 80s and she was fine. She started one of the first local grist mills, making flour. Everybody needs that.
She has a flour sack.
Oh yeah, that's right. She's holding a cute little flour sack. Look at her. What a cutie. So she lived a beautiful long life and did a lot of wonderful things here. So I wanted to give a little shout out there. We'll just set her here so she can be in the conversation. So I'm going to do a special little poem for you here. You got to get this cute little, it's like an itty bitty little house. So we're going to go intimate. I'm going to have my ma here come in a little closer so that we're just, we're with each other. We're with each other. And, and we're gonna get it all in here. You can sit so you're comfy. Whatever you feel. But yeah, I'm gonna take the camera from her at the end and just show you this whole fence here because it's extraordinary. Or I'll let her do it. I'll go on the tour with you. But so I felt compelled to write this today. Apparently the National Day ofs that I've been following so closely, they go in order of when each state officially became a state. So they're going in order, and I can't remember which one in the numerology Colorado was, but here we are, National Colorado Day. So I tried to put some of my feelings about Colorado into words, and I could write a whole book, and I probably should. But so today's poem, I'm gonna let my mom. It's tough. It's a bumpy country we live in here. It's the land. The terrain is rugged. So she had a little tumble there, but we're good now. We're here in this beautiful fence, which my friends built with their own two hands, and I just think it's one of the most marvelously beautiful things I ever have seen. So today, holy beautiful sky blue. It's day 102, and it's freezing cold here. We're here at the introduction of spring, and I include this. She told me there was gonna be a lot of traffic here. She was right. But I include this in the poem. There's like a bunch of sports cars driving by. What the heck is going on? Where do you people know where you are? But I included it in here that the weather here is very much a pendulum of experience. It's quite fun. So today, National Colorado Day. Today's poem is called Square in Shape Only, because we ain't no squares. No way, no how. Square in shape only. Oh, how can I begin to express my deep love for this my home, Colorado? The way you just know she's about to shift her mood and intrude on your early spring with an unexpected helping of fluffy snow. But you'll find you don't even mind her hard to predict switching to and fro. Oh yes, she'll keep you on your toes, 70 degrees one day, playing in a foot of fluffy flakes the next. I love this land where it's easy to find a crystalline pool to reflect your thoughts. And ought-tos and ought-nots. We may be a square-shaped state, but you can't put us in no box. Get your wool socks in a simple tent. Sure, they may have spiked the price of rent, but the wonders you can find here are truly heaven sent. I have lent my ear to hear her sacred wind songs. I have danced along to a hidden melody she has strummed for me on the strings of bird wings and pine trees. We got loud cars here in Colorado too. I have danced along to a hidden melody she has strummed for me on the strings of bird wings and pine trees for 3 decades of treasures I just keep finding. Keep on finding. You gotta put the keep on in there to be Colorado. Of treasures I just keep on finding. Her winding roads have showed me time and time again that when I feel all alone and broken, Colorado is my true friend. She will tend to you when you feel lost and unworthy. Just open your heart to her sumptuous and curvy silhouette, unforgettable with its spilling and thrilling, deep fulfilling labyrinth of tree lines. Whatever it is you seek, you can find here. But know that you may have to venture from where all the people go to where the columbines grow amidst the gathering of mule deer. You cannot help but believe in some higher power at work when you see the way these foothills are engineered. The closer you get to glimpsing the committees of stars far from the bars where the sweetgrass-scented skies are clear, the more endeared you will be to this red rock decorated beauty. You can bravely scale up 14,000 foot. You can bravely scale up 14,000 feet for a view that simply can't be beat. Or you can treat yourself to kissing sunflower fields, dropping all your cynical shields. 1,400? Isn't it 14,000? It's 14,000. You can bravely scale up 14,000 or 1,400 feet for a view that simply can't be beat. They call them 14ers, okay? Or you can treat yourself to kissing sunflower fields, dropping all your cynical shields put in place by a metal and concrete society, and just sit quietly by many rivers and reservoirs and lakes which possess great stories and wisdom to take along in your hiking backpack or fanny pack. You can call us hipsters, but we'll be too busy with a mixture of slacklining and flower garden designing and fine painting quality landscape finding to ever mind how you want to define us. Those of us born here may spit and cuss when we see the flocks of people stampeding just to be here. But at the same time, we understand. The appeal is clear. I do have a fear of it getting trampled and overly trod upon, but I find comfort knowing the true beauty glowing from within this place will never be gone.
There's a duck. Good
Hello,
boy.
friend.
Good boy.
Show him.
Good boy.
Okay, hi.
Yeah, look at that good boy.
Hi, friend. It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
I have a fear of it getting trampled and overly trod upon, but I do find comfort knowing the true beauty glowing from within this place.
It's okay. Good boy. It's okay. Good boy.
Don't stop it. This is improv here, people. This is real life happening. Real dogs barking. Oh, shoot. We're gonna get there. I'm not worried. He's gonna get used to us. Maybe. Maybe not. Just listen to the birds. Okay. He'll go away eventually. Colorado dogs, eh? Loyal.
Okay.
You're okay, bud.
Okay. Good
It's
boy.
okay. Oh, ain't it always the way when you're halfway through your poetry?
We can move down so he doesn't see us.
We'll just try to scoot to a different part of the town. Okay, we're still going. Poetry is still happening. Maybe this will work. Maybe it won't. Well, this is just turning out to be quite interesting, isn't it?
Rugged.
It's rugged. We're rugged here in Colorado. We adapt. We adapt to the scenery. Okay. I do have a fear of it getting trampled and overly trod upon, but I find comfort knowing the true beauty glowing from within this place will never be gone. I've wandered along the horsetooth trails, inhaled the splendor of the Pawnee grassland cactus blossoms, marveled at the awesome sand dunes. You are speeding. Marveled at the awesome sand dunes, heard the enchanting tunes of bluebirds and meadowlarks, cried in the dark of a field I couldn't see the edges of, fell in and out of love with almost everyone I know who's made music about this place, faced parts of me I wasn't ready for in the holy Shambhala temple, past an elemental and mystical gold dripping stone in a zone I can only describe as pure magic, while bathing in the hot springs in a ring of polished river rocks, feeling shivers of awe as the cool water mixed with the hot, stimulating all our deepest unearthed thoughts.
fought through terrible traffic to see glass animals at Red Rocks. The show was completely flooded, but don't worry, it wasn't tragic. We were soaked to the bone, watching actual sparks fly from the microphones and snakes slither down those infamous stairs. High and drunk concert goers beware. Many of them dramatically slid down. But we found some improvised outfits in the back of my car to wear. A trash bag and a random princess dress. We may have looked like a mess, but we'd come too far to give up, and we returned only to see the band erupt in the greatest performance I've seen. Completely ripped my jeans sledding down a snowy hill like kids, and it was completely worth it even though my bottom wasn't hid. Did cartwheels in sprawling wildflower fields, wandered wide-eyed through valleys and wondered how they could possibly be real. Healed so much hurt in me by putting on a prairie skirt and dancing fancy-free with my toes in red dirt so rich and deep I couldn't keep my cascading emotions in. Had entire conversations with the westerly winds, grinned like the Cheshire Cat wearing a cowgirl hat and little else, while spinning to music that was heard only half as much as it was felt. Belted out my own poetry. Gotta belt it out here. Belted out my own poetry beneath aspen trees, whose leaves provided a rhythm most uplifting. Found myself drifting in the middle of a lake I never thought I could swim across. But like many Colorado gals, when people say I can't do something, that's when I show 'em who's boss. Lost myself on purpose after a few indulgent nibbles, which paved the way to pure bliss. Kissed someone I didn't think I fancied much after a rattlesnake came an inch from touching me with its ready, fanged, open mouth. Chased fireflies down in the south part of the state, where, as fate would have it, the wizard-painted VW bus I was accompanying a band in broke down, and we found that being stuck doesn't have to be bad. Found all the most rad things I desperately wanted to buy at 5280s, frolicked in the shady grass beneath the two giant dancing figures by the arts complex in Denver. Rendered soulful chalk drawings on the streets of Loveland.
I'm okay.
Can you stop moving so much? Oh my gosh. This is comedy, pure comedy. Rendered soulful chalk drawings on the streets of Loveland, held hands with beautiful humans in the Boulder Creek as my friends played music with their hands in the water, and the crowd was riveted, barely making a peep. Stood far too close to the edge of steep cliffs because the splendor made me drift as though in a dream state. Contemplated my place on the planet while watching the Perseid meteors stream through the dark silk of the night. Discovered new forms of sight, savoring magic honey with my eyes closed, knee-deep in the pooter. It's not kinky, it's our river. As the sunny rays delivered entire groovy movies beyond my imagination. Read my poetry feeling so honored with my very own hour on air for our local radio station. Felt pure elation receiving standing ovations in dozens of plays. Prayed alone in the mountains, coping with insurmountable grief after losing many friends who should still be sitting amongst the ponderosa, fir, and spruce trees with me. Poured my womb blood I used to bleed into leaves of my growing plants under full moon after full moon. Watched the spirit of earth bloom in the emergence of spring. Marveled at the good fortune to be here as I heard actual sleigh bells ring at Christmas through the streets that inspired Disney's downtown vision. Struggled with the decision to come back home after steering slowly on a bumpy path to my Hollywood dreams. But the scenes I get to frolic through here make it clear that it's no setback. There is no lack of delight and wonder and unencumbered gifts of nature to ensure me the purity of the mountain air alone is worth postponing that Hollywood hustle. And the sunset winks in agreement, and the leaves flirtatiously rustle. okay, we made it through. It's fascinating. It was a journey.
I didn't fall down the hill.
Oh, my mom didn't fall down the hill. Yeah, we had ourselves a time. You use your fanny pack, and who cares if somebody calls you a hipster? It's okay. It's okay if they say that. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you a little bit more of this here.
Whoa. How am I gonna get up?
You're on your own, Mom. No, I'm kidding. I'll help her up. But look at this. They made these like flames of wood. It's like the most mystical things I've ever seen. I'm sorry, dog. We'll be leaving now. But I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come. Expert job, Mom. Expert job. Okay, doggy, we're taking off. So, thank you, beautiful space that we got to film today. Thank you, sweet dog. It's okay. It's okay, friend. Yeah, we're gonna go now. It's all good. But yeah, I'm really, really grateful to know these people. I'm just gonna quick tell the little origin story before I go on my merry way. From this magical place is that I was actually supposed to be meeting my friend Annabelle, and a different Annabelle, and she is an inspiration to me, and she's children, so she got children busy, as people do, and she had to cancel, and I was really just needing connection, and so I was driving around, wandering, driving up and down this area, like, I just need connection. And I've driven past this fence a million times and thought, I have to know those people. Like, I must know whoever had the guts and the wonder and the artfulness to make a fence like this. Pulled in, just thought, okay, I'm gonna go knock on the door. This is pre-COVID. Knock on the door. I'm like, hey, I know this is weird, but I live just up around the corner, around the bend here, as you say in Colorado. Live round the bend. It's a very Colorado thing to say. Live round the bend here, and I've always wanted to stop and meet you. And I just got... Yes, I am. Oh my gosh. Yes, I am. And so I was like, today's the day. I need to know you. And she was so sweet. She let me in. We ended up having like a 3.5 hour conversation, thanks mostly to me. You guys know that about me. Thanks mostly to me, had like a 3.5 hour long conversation, ended up knowing like a bazillion of the same people, you know, circus loving, artsy types. And now we're friends, and it's cool. And she made me my first face mask in the pandemic, and I made my first epic collage for her. And I don't know, it's lucky. Colorado is a lucky place to make friends like that. Well, yes. So we'll leave this artsy, wondrous place. Oh my God, it shut down. Oh God.
It just shut down? Your battery?
If I didn't get this,